Heyo everybody, Haku here with my review for One Piece Anime Episode 834. Geez, One Piece is a bit bipolar lately. It was really good for a while, after being hit and miss, after being really good, after being really bad. And lately, it's just jumped back and forth the past couple of weeks. Because 2 weeks ago was kinda pretty I mean, it wasn't very good. It wasn't that bad, but it certainly wasn't very good. And then last week was really quite good. Now this week again was, even in a single episode, very hit and miss. I would say like the first 3 quarters was like pretty bad. Basically nothing happened, the animation wasn't good, and then the last quarter maybe toward the end was really good. But let's start from the beginning. We have a really short recap, so I was excited for things. I was like, okay, short recap, we're going to really get into things. We're here at the wedding. Everything's going to happen. But we have the normal One Piece pacing of every single little thing being drawn out as long as possible. Big Mom attacks, Brook smashes the portrait, and I love the moment with the party guests. That was really funny, where Brook tears off the mask and they all just don't get it and they're all freaking out, oh my god, he tore his face off. The animation with all the scrubs attacking Luffy and Jinbei was really bad. Sanji then runs away from all the commotion with Pudding, and Pudding tries to kill him but fails. We have a repeat of the recent flashbacks we just saw, which isn't necessarily good or bad. It all depends on the storytelling behind it. So that's not really good or bad. Then Daifuku shows up, so we can have Daifuku versus Sanji. He has a magic lamp devil fruit, which is pretty cool. He can rub his stomach to summon a genie and all that. The animation for that part, and as we're cutting around to other scenes too, at that point really, it didn't look as bad as it did a little earlier in the episode, but it looked really constrained maybe. It looked like it was definitely on a budget and with some serious time constraints. It looked very rushed. There was a ton of still stuff, a ton of repeating stuff. So yeah, it just looked like very restrained animation. We check in with Caesar and Brûlé. Beige pretends to apprehend Luffy. Then Pedro versus Oven we see really quick. I mean, it's not even really a real fight, just more of a showdown between the two of them. Then a great joke where Brook's head rolls over to, where he loses his head rolls over to Luffy and Luffy and Beige. And it was such a great joke where, or a comedy bit, where he was like, don't worry, I'm still alive. Well, I'm dead, but, and then Luffy laughs at it. I thought that was so good. Then the Vinsmokes are captured by Perospero. Judge is a crying little bitch after all of this. And I actually like this part for the brothers, showing that not having emotions doesn't mean they're just completely stone-faced and stuff. Not having emotions means, like, they give no fucks one way or the other. They're like, haha, we're about to die, oh well, screw it. They just have no fear or anything. They're just like, our death is what it is. And Perospero gives a pretty good speech. He's a great villain. I remember his speech being really good in the manga, and it seemed kind of shorter here some way or another. It wasn't all that I remembered it being, but it was still good. Perospero is a great villain. Beige, and this is again something I really like. Beige can tell that their plan will work because he looks at Katakuri's face after Luffy brings it up, or Brook brings it up, whichever one. I think it was Brook actually that said, Luffy, you gotta show the picture to Big Mom again, so that she finally decides what to freak out on and actually starts screaming or whatever. But I love that Beige looks over and sees that Katakuri looks like super devastated and worried, and he's like, okay, I can tell whatever it is, it's gonna work, but based on his expression. So then Beige, Jinbei, and Pedro have a face-off with Katakuri, and all of the budget for this, I was like, this is why all the other animation was constrained. All of the budget went to this Sanji kick shot, which was insanely well animated. And I was just like freaking out from how crazy well animated it was. And I was like, they put all the budget for the episode into that one shot. What on earth was that? Because it was just like normal, One Piece animation. Not good One Piece animation, but not as bad as the bad One Piece animation. It was just And then this crazy Sanji attack. And then back to animation for right there at the end. So like I said, I was watching through the first like 15 minutes or so, like there were things happening, but at the same time I was like, we're getting through like next to nothing. Barely anything's happening compared to other shows I'm watching where so much happens in a single episode. I'm kind of used to this from One Piece, but even still, it doesn't mean it's a good thing. I'm like, nothing's happening right now. It just felt like nothing happened for a while, and then the last quarter, everything happened. We just had a ton of stuff. We had the cool Sanji shot, and I can say it still wasn't a very good episode because the first 15 minutes or so of a 24-minute episode was not so great. It wasn't a good episode, but like I said again, I can't just sit and dog on it and call it a bad episode. There wasn't anything that was like, ugh, I can't watch this, or it was just terribly bad or anything. No. It's one of those things where everything, except for like a few things toward the end, was just mediocre. None of it was good or anything, but none of it was really bad or anything either. But for the good parts and stuff, I was planning to give it kind of a low score because I was like, if nothing really impressive happens, this is kind of below average for anime in general. But then a few things, like the Brook comedy bits and the Sanji kick scene, I was like, okay, that makes it worth putting a little bit above average for anime in general. Because anime in general, I mean, some episodes, I don't know. Either way, I guess technically, this is below what I would get. My scoring system's all screwed up. I'm giving it 6.5 changing futures out of 10. It's kind of a weird situation where my scoring system's all screwed up because I've always been like, okay, straight down the middle's like a 5 out of 10. That's just an average episode of a show. But then again, when I watch TV, I'm like, the average I would give most things I watch would be like maybe a 7 or 7.5 or something. So this is below average from what I generally watch. But either way, yeah, my scoring system's just, over the years, it's gotten all screwed up, so who cares? The numbers are very arbitrary and meaningless anyway. I just give them out at the end of every review, based on my own opinion. So they're really the least important part of any review by far. But yeah, those were my thoughts on the episode. Very mixed bag, where like, if it were a bag of candy, like the top 3/4 of it would be flavorless, but then when you're getting down toward the bottom, there's a few really good pieces in there. So yeah, something like that's how I describe the episode. So either way, I guess, like, if you did like the video, comment down there, tell me what you thought of this episode, what you thought of my thoughts on it. Man, this is a mess. Subscribe for more One Piece, both anime and manga. Follow on Twitter if you want. I can try to keep you updated there and stuff for the channel. And if you want a link to our Discord server to talk to me or more of us there, then just ask and I'll give you a link to the Discord server. That's it. Thank you once again for watching, and I'll see you all next time.